Hey guys, and welcome back to another Cody from ATL episode. I am, of course, Cody from ATL, as the name says, and today we're going to get into why are they so angry over in Albania. We're seeing a lot of protests. Has something to do with Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. No surprises there. People are up in arms and upset over some stupid shit they're pulling, attempting to kill a bunch of flamingos over in Albania by building a well, more than $1 billion, over $1 billion private resort. But the only problem is they are trying to do this on a protected beach. Okay? Obviously, they are constructing some sort of an escape route. Peter Thiel has fled to Argentina. The Kushners are thinking of fleeing to Albania, right? Something's going on. We've also got Anthropic, SpaceX, and OpenAI. They are all going to do IPOs pretty soon, which is going to absolutely fuck our 401k. I'm not going to give you any financial advice, but I'm going to be looking into how to pull out my 401k, my little bitty, the little money I have in there before the bubble pops. So AI is obviously a massive speculative bubble, as I've said in the past. I think that there are some positive applications for AI. I think we should also lean into figuring out technologies to make training and running AI more ethical, better for the environment, right? There's local solutions. You can run, pretty powerful hardware locally, just in your own home using your own electricity. You could technically use solar power to run models locally, but you're not going to get that, it takes longer, right? That's why they have to use these massive GPUs that cost so much money to run and take so much power. So, there are ethical ways to utilize AI as a tool. But like I said, overall, I think it's a net negative for humanity. OpenAI, Anthropic, and SpaceX are not profitable. If anything, they're burning billions of dollars a year. They're in the negative, they're in the red. Basically, what they're trying to do is use our 401ks as a piggy bank and a safety net for this giant fucking psyop, and it's basically the biggest rug pull we've ever seen. So we've got a couple of different ways to go here. Do SpaceX, Anthropic, and OpenAI belong in your portfolio? SpaceX, OpenAI, and Anthropic are all going public. Your retirement fund will have to buy in no matter the price. 3 companies with trillion-dollar plus valuations are expected to go public in quick succession. New rules mean major stock indexes are fast-tracking their inclusion, triggering mandatory buying from the index funds that dominate American retirement accounts. And this is all so Elon Musk can be the world's first trillionaire. Yeah, that's the guy who should be a trillionaire. The guy who thinks we should abandon the earth to go to Mars, that guy should be the first trillionaire. The guy who begged to be invited to Epstein Island should be the first trillionaire. This is not real life, folks. This is insane. They also changed the rules. Like we used to have this thing called the SEC that looked after our best interest and tried to make the stock market a little bit more fair. That's fucking gone. So they changed the rules in order to dip into everyone's 401ks and use the American people's retirement funds as their safety net when this giant speculative bubble pops, which is going to be pretty soon. So as you can see, there's just kind of a shit show heading our way. As a millennial, I'm used to it. I feel bad for the younger gens. You guys are seeing just as many troublesome things in your lifetime as I have, so I apologize for that. But things are about to get bad. Things are about to get bad, folks. The economy is going to take a massive shit. Strait of Hormuz is still closed down. These boomers are trying to kill us, I think. I can't really think of another way to phrase it, but this is absolute insanity. All of this while OpenAI and Anthropic, let's just throw SpaceX out. OpenAI and Anthropic they have an IPO, but they don't even have an ROI. They cannot define an ROI. There is no ROI for AI. So that's what we're doing with our 401ks under the Trump admin, under the Elon admin, under the Epstein class admin who is running this country right now. This is the biggest rug pull in human history. Okay? Let's get into the article. Shares in the Japanese investment firm SoftBank hit a record high over Memorial Day, exceeding the valuation of Toyota, thanks to reports that OpenAI, one of its biggest portfolio companies, is preparing to go public. Even though they're in the red, mind you. The expected initial public offering filing from the ChatGPT maker follows an out of this world prospectus from SpaceX last week. It's set to become the biggest public market debut in history, with an estimated valuation of $1.75 trillion. SpaceX is saying it's worth $1.75 trillion. Okay. All right. For launching hunks of metal into outer space and then getting them to come back to Earth and burning a tremendous amount of fossil fuels. That's worth 1.75 trillion. I'm sorry, who gives a fuck about space? Honestly. I mean, I don't get the interest in all this money going into launching shit out into space, because we haven't figured anything out really that important. You know, I could think of a million ways that $1.75 trillion could be spent on planet Earth, not going into a disgusting person's pocket like Elon Musk. Markets have never seen 3 IPOs of this magnitude in quick succession. And new rules on Wall Street mean index funds, the kind of investment that dominates American retirement funds, will be buying into these companies faster than ever before. Everyone's 401k is going to be fucked. Do we need to pay the penalty to pull the money out before the bubble pops? Do you ride it a little while? I mean, this is insane. This is gambling with our future. Not even gambling. It's just like a matter of time before this shit collapses. This should make you angry. Stock indexes like the NASDAQ or S&P 500 are just lists of top companies. There are trillions of dollars of investment that just track those lists. Each index has its own methodology for inclusion, like company profit levels or how many shares are available. What do you do about inclusion criteria that are keeping out some of the largest companies in the market? He said, well, you change the rules. And that's exactly what they did. That's exactly what the Trump administration has done. Several indexes are fast tracking SpaceX, so it will be included in a matter of days rather than months. So you're going to see massive mandatory buying. How unpatriotic is this, folks? If you have a 401k, you don't have a choice but to buy in to a company who is in the red before their IPO. Index funds have to buy stock in proportion to a company's size, no matter the price. This passive investing has grown bigger than funds managed by investors who research companies and make active bets. The index funds are going to set the price of SpaceX, and the active managers will be the price takers. And also, I think that this is more insidious than we even believe, because I do think a lot of people at the top know this bubble is based purely on hype, and that's exactly why they are getting cozy with all of our 401ks. Is this winning? Again, I just, please, someone in the comments below, let me know, is this winning? It does not feel like winning to me. This feels like everyone with a 401k is being forced to participate in this ridiculous fucking scheme that the Epstein class has put into motion.